this right side doesn't cooperate, doesn't work.
It looks pretty level, actually.
Yeah.
I still would love to, I mean, it'd be crazy to go too high, but I wonder if putting the green block on the blue, because ideally for your seat, you want your knees to be lower than your hips. So you're good, Rose. And then if you put blocks underneath, and then instead of having the soles of your feet together, cross them. Yeah. And then the knees fall. Hello, welcome. Hi. My hair's like between the wind and the humidity back. My hair's a mess.
Oh my God. I went home and I walked this morning and it was like, my hair just, it was all wet.
Gonna do a little work on our backs. So let me grab some straps for everybody to use.
Super long. So Nancy, are my knees lower than my hips if I put these blocks under?
They're a little high.
The only thing I don't like is if I take them out completely, this kind of bugs me. It's like, I'm such a little tenderfoot.
If you, well, when we do meditation with it, put it on your mat. So then the insides of your feet are actually resting on the mat instead of the wood, and that probably will feel better.
Yeah. It's smart. Who would have come up with that?
Usually Julia comes listening today. Still tingling in the core from from all the core work we did.
Thursday, I'm off, so kind of, tomorrow I'll go, and still that. So Tuesday, I'm going to go on vacation.
Put it in my mind.
At some point, sometime, especially Tuesday. Yeah.
How's everyone doing today? Yeah, so far so good?
Yes.
Any big plans tonight? Wednesday night.
Anybody got glasses?
Oh, the eclipse? Well, but we're not in the path.
No. But I did read it. Look at it. I know.
Yeah.
That there too. That's why I invited them before, because I thought we're way out.
Yeah, and I'm assuming we'll see some of it. I once did it where you put holes in a cereal box.
Mhm.
So if you Google like how to make
Oh,
it with a
yeah.
cereal box, and then, but you look, like we looked down and saw the reflection of it, so we were never looking
Aluminum
up.
foil on one side.
Something like that, yeah, yeah.
That sounds good.
I know, it's kind of, what, like 6 years ago? Maybe? Uh-huh,
Is it tomorrow?
the 8th.
Oh, the eighth.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So there was a lunar eclipse right before the spring equinox. So this time in between eclipses, no wonder why there's some wind activity blowing around a little, some energy. So we won't be here very long. Let's just open up the practice with some grounding. So take a breath in through the nose. Sigh out. And then lift your chest a little bit. So eyes up here. So notice how we have a tendency to rock into our seat like this and cave into the abdominal area. So using the block to our advantage, really lengthen up through the spine. And then move the sits bones into that block. So almost like you're then tucking the tailbone just slightly and driving the sits bones in while you're lengthening the spine up, really thinking about this part of your chest, the sternum, lifting, like there's a string on the sternum, just lifting you up, rolling the shoulders back a little bit, and then chin parallel with the floor. And just allow yourself to arrive, but still taking inspiration. And I've been so inspired by the story about boat pose from Monday. Navasana is the Sanskrit word. And from the Myths of the Asanas book, the teaching talking about the boat being our way to journey through turbulent waters, and how lifting an anchor and having a good captain are the two ways to be able to cross the turbulent waters. And, as we go through our life's journey, as we ebb and flow through these, sometimes turbulent waters, sometimes calm waters, just when we think that we have those waters under control, the choppiness maybe returns. And then we rely once again on lifting the anchor. If you visualize trying to row a boat with the anchor down, not going to get anywhere. You're stuck in the boat. So we don't want to be stuck in the boat. So using the mindfulness part of our yoga practice, setting a direction for our boat, to not be absent-minded in our practice, but practicing with intention. So bring into mind something that you're currently working on, maybe an obstacle to overcome. Maybe there's some choppy waters that you're looking to bring calm to. Whatever it is, to set your intention as it relates to that. So using the physical and the mindfulness part of today's practice to help you navigate through. It could be simple as just focusing on the breath, or if there's a and anytime your mind starts to wander, you get distracted, you can say that affirmation to yourself a few times to bring back into your practice, into your present moment. On this next inhale, try and draw the navel toward the spine a little bit. Bring your hands together in heart center. So using both our core activation and also a little activation in the muscles surrounding our heart, in our chest. Start pressing the palms together. And as you do that, the elbows lift up and hopefully feel that activation in the muscles across the chest and heart space. Maybe feeling it a little bit in the shoulder blades as they draw toward each other and down the back, opening across the heart, but also keeping that engagement of pulling the navel in toward your spine. We'll just be here for several breaths, continuing this activation, setting your intention if you haven't done so already. And then we'll using all of this energy that you're creating right now by pressing the palms together and drawing the navel in. We'll use that energy for our Om. So take an inhale and empty the breath out, and then we'll Om on the next exhale. One more breath, really feeling the pressing of the palms, that sensation that's happening as a result, the drawing in of the navel. Sitting up nice and tall, you feel that energy running from your seat, up the spine, out through the crown of the head, and then release the hands down. And just feel those sensations running from the earlobes all the way down the arms, out through the fingertips. And flickering the eyes open, just bring your feet to the floor and lean forward as gently as you can to bring that block off your mat. Just have it off to the side so that you have the option to use it for your meditation. And then we'll come onto our backs and have that strap next to you. So lying all the way down onto the back. Before using the strap, just take a few rounds of breath, 3 rounds of breath, where you inhale the arms overhead and point your toes, and then exhale the arms alongside your body and flex your feet. Draw the toes towards you and push through the heels. Inhale the arms overhead, pointing the toes, and exhale, flexing the feet, pushing through your heels. Arms come alongside. One more. Inhale, get really long, feel that natural arch form in the back. And then exhale the arms alongside. And then grab your strap. Draw the right knee in towards your chest. Roll up so you can wrap the strap around the ball of your foot just beneath where your toes start. And then begin to press the ball of the foot into the strap as you're holding the strap on either side of the foot. And just letting the back come down to that. So your arms are extended, holding the strap on either side of the foot, and then pressing the ball of the foot into the strap to help straighten and lengthen this right leg. And let's try and keep the left leg active too. Keep the left toes pointing up to the ceiling so they're flexed, and maybe even feel like you can press the back of the left foot into the mat. And by doing that, you might feel a little bit more lengthening in this right leg. And that right knee can be a little bent if it's still just needing a little bit more warming up to do. So take it slow. 2 more breaths here, helping this right leg to warm up. And then bring the straps together, the sides of the strap together, and grab them with your right hand, reaching that hand up toward the foot. And then let your left hand come down, rest it on your left hip.
So we rest it there as a reminder to keep this side of the body grounded. We're going to start to let the right leg fall out to the side. So opening up this right hip, but I want you to keep that left sits bone and left hip down. Try and keep it the hips level. So you might stay wherever it is at that point where that left side starts to lift. Stay there, that's your edge. Maybe the right leg drops down far enough where you can let your elbow and back of the upper arm rest on the floor. And still pushing the ball of the foot into the strap a little bit to lengthen through that right leg. Keeping the left leg active. Try and press that leg into the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath in and out. And then inhale that right leg back to center. And switch your grasp. Take the straps in your left hand now. And drop your right arm down to the floor. And then instead of dropping this right leg all the way over the left, we're just going to cross the midline. So we're going to stretch our IT band. So keep your, good way to know that you're doing this right is keep your left knee and your left toes facing up to the ceiling. Don't let that left leg roll out to the side, drawing you deeper. So you should feel a deep stretch in that IT band, yeah? Breathe in. Breathe out. Being inspired by the boat and the water, all the songs today are something to do with the water. The sun and the ocean, the boat. One more inhale and exhale. Bring it back to center, release the strap, and draw that knee into your chest. And let it drop down to the floor, coming into our supine tree pose. So keep that right knee bent, the sole of the right foot coming to the inside of the left leg. And now pretend like you're standing on that left foot. So you're flexing the foot. That left leg is really straight. If you need to pull your block under that right knee or right thigh, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, let that right hip open. And then we're going to grow the branches of our tree. So on your next inhale, start bringing your arms overhead. And maybe they come to cactus arms, goalpost arms. Maybe they reach into a wide V. And right away, you'll probably notice an arch formed in your back. So bring awareness to the back and try and draw the middle part of your back toward the floor. So what this does, it lengthens the tailbone down. And when we're doing this pose standing, that lengthening of the tailbone really helps to bring stability to the pose. So breathing in and out here, a little easier here to open the hip because we're not having to focus on the balancing of one leg. So really enjoying this opening of the right hip. One more breath in. And then exhale, arms down. Bring that right knee up to center. And then bring the left foot next to the right foot. Heel to your feet as wide as your mat. And then just let's windshield wipe the knees from right to left in between sides. Couple more times to the right and to the left. And then resetting for the other side, heel toe your feet a little closer. Extend your right leg out long onto the mat. Draw your left knee in, roll up a little bit so you can wrap the strap around the ball of your left foot. And then slowly dropping the head, starting to extend this left leg up to the ceiling, holding the strap, on either side of your foot. And again, maybe starting with the knee bent a little bit and slowly maybe pulsing into the strap or working toward lengthening it and pushing the ball of the foot into that strap and maybe pulling down a little bit to deepen the stretch. Just notice how the hips are level here with your leg at 90 degrees. You're pressing the back of your right leg into the mat. Keep that right foot flexed. One more inhale and exhale. Bring the straps together. Hold them in your left hand and bring that right hand to your right hip. So same thing as the other side, letting this left leg drop out to the side. But as soon as you feel that you're rocking that right hip up, really draw it down. And then try and only let the left leg drop, but not compromising the alignment. Breathe. Breathe out. So opening up this inner groin muscle and this outer hip flexor. Rounding down through both sits bones. One more breath in and out. And then inhale that leg back up to center. Switch the grasp into your right hand. That right hand is high up toward the foot. Left arm comes down. Adjust your right leg so your right knee and right toes are facing the sky. And then cross the midline with this left leg. And right away, you should start to feel those sensations coming down from the glutes, down that left leg, getting into the IT band here. If that right leg is starting to turn out to the right, draw it back. Press the back of the leg into the mat. One more breath in. And out. Bring it back to neutral. Release that strap. Hug the knee into your chest. And then drop that knee down to the floor. The sole of the foot coming to inside the right leg. And again, pretending as if you're standing on this right leg now. Keep that right foot flexed. Really lengthen through this left hip opening, and then on your next inhale, growing the branches of your tree. Arms coming overhead to cactus arms or a wide V. And then bring awareness to the middle of your back and try and lengthen through the low back to draw the middle part of your back toward the mat. Tree pose, when we stand on our foot, balancing it requires a lot of pelvic stability for the pose. One more breath in and out. Sweep the arms down, bring that knee back to the center. Bring the right knee to meet the left, heel toe your feet to the width of your mat again, and windshield wiper the knees from right to left. Couple more times each way. And then coming back to center, slide the legs out, back out onto the mat to come into our low boat pose. So have the palms facing your legs. Flex your feet a little bit, and then just start by lifting the chin to your chest and take a look at your toes. So already, just by doing this small movement, hopefully feeling your lowest abdominal muscles working. And then start to flip the arms off the mat as you lift the chest a little higher. And then notice which abdominal muscles are working here. And then maybe lifting the heels an inch off the mat. Full breath in. And exhale, lower down. We're going to do 2 more like that. Start by lifting the chin to the chest. Float the arms up, maybe at the heels. And lower back down. So you might not be adding the heels, and that's fine. You're still getting engagement in the core muscles. Inhale, lift the chin to the chest, arms lifting up, maybe adding the heels. And lower down, hug those knees into your chest, rock from side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring the fingers underneath your knees, and we're going to rock up to bringing our feet to the mat for our TP twist. So getting enough momentum where you place your feet right in front of you, drawing the knees in toward your chest, and just wiggle around a little bit so you can sit up tall on your sits bones. Wrap the left arm in front of the knees, take the right hand behind you. 5 breaths here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. And inhale, exhale 5. Come through center, wrapping the right arm in front of the knees, left hand behind. Using it as a kickstand, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Come to center and scoot back so your legs are extended. Another twist. We're going to draw our right knee into the chest and step it over the left leg. So option to stay here, or if you want to try bending this left knee, you rock onto your left hip a little bit, bend that left knee so you're bringing the heel, and then you're going to come back and be on both sits bones. There you go. And if it's not working to do that, then just keep that leg straight. So we just want to make sure you're coming back to where you're sitting equally on the sits bones. And then right hand comes behind. Inhale, left arm up. Same twist. Hooking the elbow or wrapping the crook of the elbow around that knee. And breathe in. Breathe out, pressing into that toe ball mound of the right foot. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Coming back through center, rock onto that left hip to extend that left leg, and then release the right leg. Windshield wiper the feet, shake them out. Sit up nice and tall, draw that left knee into the chest, step it over the right. So same thing as the other side, rocking to the right hip, and then bend your right knee. So you're bringing the heel in. You don't want to sit on the heel. You want to come back to where you're on your sits bones. And you can help lift your spine by bringing the hands in front of that left knee. Sit up nice and tall. Take left hand behind, right arm reaches up, twisting to the left. And don't worry about that side, just keep that leg straight. Yeah, and just come into the twist. So, yeah. And try and use that back hand as a kickstand to lengthen through the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really feel the breath in the belly. Opening up the rib cage and helping your thoracic spine to find this twist. One more inhale and exhale. Coming back to center, rocking onto that right hip, straighten the right leg and release left. Shake it up. Nice job. Crossing at your ankles and rolling forward to tabletop. Have the knees positioned under the hips, shoulders, elbows, and wrists stacked. And then draw the belly in. So just like we did earlier, where we try and imagine our navel drawing toward the spine. Keep that engagement and then rock the pelvis so the tailbone points up to the sky. Feel a lengthening, the opening, the chest lifting and opening, the head lifting up. And then exhale, rock the pelvis the other way, tucking the tailbone into cat pose. Inhale into cow, really letting the movement come from the pelvis. So tucking the tailbone as you rock the pelvis the other way creates that rounding. One more time, into cow. And exhale, drawing the navel in even more into cat pose. And then coming back and dropping to our forearms. And grab your block and place your block in between your forearms. Interlace your fingers, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, bringing the head to the block for dolphin pose. Pressing into the forearms here, into the elbows a little bit to help get extension in the arms and the shoulders, and the head resting here on the block. Another breath in and out. So our legs are straight, the knees aren't down, our hips are lifting up like we do in downward dog. Just giving the head a little support here. One more breath in. And exhale, drop the knees down to the mat and move that block to the side. And then coming to forearm plank, interlace your fingers, step one foot back and then the other, lowering the hips. Straight line of energy from your heels out through the crown of the head, pressing into the forearms. So try not to have your butt lifted up, but dropping it down a little bit. Rose, drop it down just a little bit more. Yeah. Beautiful. One more breath in and out, and then drop your hips, your thighs, bring the tops of your feet to the mat. And make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. Take a little rest, rock your hips from side to side. Relax the neck, relax the brow. And then finding our way back up to tabletop. So bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, propping yourself back up to tabletop. Take the hands in handprint in front of where they were. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips, find downward facing dog. And then drop one heel, bending the other knee to pedal out your dog or take your dog for a walk. Try and press back so your low belly is moving toward the thighs. And then find stillness for a couple of breaths. Draw the belly in here. Find that engagement. One more breath in. And out. And then lift your gaze to look between your hands and walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, find a half lift and float your arms out to the sides. So finding a flat back here, as if your fingertips are reaching the opposite walls. And then bend your knees, lift the upper body to stand, straighten the legs, and bring the arms in front. Draw the arms into your shoulder sockets and cross right elbow on top of left. And then bend at the elbows so this right elbow is really resting in the left elbow. And see if you can bring the backs of the hands to touch. Maybe even wrap the left fingers on the inside of the right palm for full eagle arms. The elbows in line with your shoulders. Inhale, draw shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Draw the belly in. On your exhale, let's start to bow forward, bending the knees, bringing the elbows to maybe touch the thighs. And then inhale, lifting back up and release. And then we'll do the other side. Bring the arms in front. Draw the arms into your shoulder sockets. Cross left elbow over right. Let that left elbow really rest in the right one. And then see if you can draw those arms toward each other. And if you can wrap, if not, you can stay in this X mark too. Elbows reaching up toward the shoulders. Draw shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Inhale, and then exhale, bending the knees, rounding forward. Inhale, lift back up. And release. Shake it out. Let's actually bring our arms out to the sides. Flip your palms up, and then bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Make some big circles. Use your breath. And move the circle the other direction. And then inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms up. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, bend your knees and sweep the palms down. Flip your palms up and pull the energy up to your chest and push it back down. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, turning the palms up. Big reach forward as you round in that upper back down, and then flip your palms, draw the energy up. Press it back down to the earth. Inhale one more time. And flip the palms up, lengthen. Big reach forward. Flip the palms, draw the energy up. And press it back down. Find Tadasana. Close the eyes for a few breaths. Just allow yourself to feel this life force within you. Bring one hand over the heart, one hand to the low belly. Empty your next exhale all the way out. And then inhale a third into the ribcage, a third into the chest, and exhale a third, a third, a third. Inhale a third, and a third. Exhale a third, a third, and a third. And then finding our tiptoe squat. So you know that you need some support, go ahead and move your blocks. If you want to try it without the blocks, it'll look like this, where you come up on your toes, bring hands to heart center, and then with the heels lifted, you're slowly lowering down as if you have the wall behind your back. If you want to move to the wall, you can, or coming down to hands on blocks. You can do it this way, where you fold in half, hands on blocks, then lift your heels, and then pressing your hands into the blocks as you lower your seat towards your heels. And then when you get there, engage your thighs, see if you can keep your seat off your heels for a couple of breaths. And then when you need to let the seat go to your heels, you can do that, come off your heels, maybe play with bringing your hands to your heart center once you've come all the way down. And find, starting our strengthening this concentration that we need for meditation, find a spot in front of you to focus the gaze on. And just staying with your gaze fixed on that spot for another full breath in. And then exhale, make your way down to your seat, rocking all the way down onto your back, forearms, and setting up for rolling bridges. So we want our feet aligned with our knees, aligned with our hips. Walk your feet back toward your sits bones a little bit so that you're just about to graze the back of your heel with your longest finger. And then on your inhale, lifting our hips, the back off the mat, and then floating the arms up and over, touching the backs of the arms to the floor. And then on your exhale, bring the arms, when they get about halfway, lower arms and back together. Inhale, lifting up, floating the arms overhead. And exhale, bringing the arms about halfway and then lowering the back and the arms together. So on your own pace, go ahead and do 5 more. Breathing in, breathing out as you lower. Almost like you're starting your meditation here. Slowing the breath down, lengthening the inhales, lengthening the exhales, matching breath with movement. If you feel like taking one more, go ahead and do that. Or if you're finished, hug the knees into your chest. And after you've hugged your knees into your chest, we're going to come into figure 4 and then a spinal twist. So go ahead and drop your left foot to the mat. So the knee's bent. And then turn your right knee out to the side. So you're bringing that right ankle to the left thigh. And start here, just lightly pressing that right knee away from you with your palm. Feeling a little stretch in that outside right hip flexor. And rooting down through the left foot. Another couple breaths here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feeling the abdomen expand with the inhale. Feeling it fall with the exhale. Take another inhale, and then with our exhale, we're gonna drop the right sole of the foot to the floor, letting the left thigh and knee drop to the floor as well, over here on the left side, coming into a spinal twist. And then using that right foot to help ground you, you can wrap your left fingers around that right ankle. Or if you're feeling solid, the foot's holding you in place, you can form a T with your arms. Letting the right ankle bone rest against the left thigh. Maybe turning the head to look out over your right arm. If you turn the head, bring the gaze back to looking up, and then slowly start to rock back onto your left foot, releasing that right foot to the mat, and just find neutral. Draw the left knee into your chest, turning it out to the side, and then resting left ankle on the right thigh, making a figure 4 on this side. So keep that left foot flexed. Take the left hand, the palm pressing on the inside of your left knee, gently pressing it away from you where you feel that stretch in the left hip flexor now. Try and press the back into the mat. The next exhale, we're going to take that left foot down to the floor, rolling that right thigh and right knee down. You can keep the fingers wrapping around the left ankle and take the right arm out, or you can make a T with the arms. Keep that right thigh just pressing against the left ankle bone, maybe turning the head to look out over the left arm. If you can soften in that left shoulder, in the neck muscles. Bring the head back to gaze at the ceiling. Start rocking the legs back onto that right foot, and then drop your left foot and heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. Coming into constructive rest pose for some breathing here before we head into meditation. So widen the space between your heels and your sits bones. The feet, the toes are facing forward. The feet are just at the edges of your mat, and then let your thighs and knees come together. And then bring one hand to your belly and one hand over the chest. Have that bottom hand on the top of your navel. And with the next inhalation, think of sending the air towards the navel and feeling your abdomen expand and rise freely. That upper hand is essentially remaining still as you focus only on the abdominal area. Continue to inhale and exhale, intentionally sending the air towards the navel. And feeling that hand that's just above the navel rise and fall with each breath. And just feel how it expands and relaxes freely. Just a few more rounds of this abdominal breathing. And without changing your hands, the positions of your hands, shift your attention to your rib cage. And then expanding that concentration by intentionally sending the air towards the rib cage instead of the abdomen. And now letting the thorax expand and rise freely. Still feeling that hand that's by the navel moving up and down. The upper hand still remaining just about still as you focus on breathing into the rib cage and letting the thorax expand and rise freely. So this thoracic breathing now. Maybe also feeling it toward the spine. Our thoracic area of the spine are all of our T's, T1 through 12. So maybe feeling some sensations in that part of the spine as you have all your awareness into this thoracic area of the body. Couple more rounds of that with the upper hand barely moving. So with your next inhalation, repeat this thoracic breathing pattern, but when you feel the rib cage completely expanded, inhale a bit more, allowing the air to fill up the upper section of your lungs at the base of your neck. Feel the shoulders and collarbone rise up gently to find some space for the extra air to come in. And exhale, slowly letting the collarbone and shoulders drop first. And then continue to relax the rib cage and continue this clavicular breathing for the next few moments. So now feeling that upper hand rising and falling. And then releasing that breathing, return to your natural breath. And then separate the knees, bring the feet a little closer together, and slowly roll to your right side. Or here's an option. I'll give you the option. If you want to stay on your back for meditation, for today's meditation, stay right where you are in that constructive rest or in corpse pose. If you prefer to come to a seated meditation, then roll to your right side and slowly making your way up to a seat. And bringing that block onto your mat so that your knees, your inside feet, have a place on your mat. And take a few breaths here to settle into your seat. Or on your back. Making any last movement so that you're able to commit to this seat and be able to be undisturbed during the meditation. And then start to let the brow soften. The sockets, eye sockets soften. In honor of the recent spring equinox, sharing these words by Madeline Kunin, when all the world appears to be in a tumult and nature itself is feeling the assault of the climate change. The seasons retain their essential rhythm. Yes, fall gives us a premonition of winter, but then winter will be forced to relent once again to the new beginnings of soft breeze, longer light, and the sweet air of spring. Remembering that in liminal moments, liminal meaning for that space between awake and asleep, remembering in these liminal moments that it gives way to big changes. So honoring this expansion of spring, breathing that in and out as you move into your meditation, tuning into your breath, or recall that affirmation from the start of practice, I am blank. And using the focus on the breath or on this affirmation for your meditation today. And we'll move into silence. starting to deepen your breath. Take a moment to notice if there were any moments in your meditation where the concentration was there, where you had maybe a moment of not identifying with any of the thoughts that maybe were floating in and floating out. Acknowledging that as a moment of liminal space. When we can stop identifying with our thoughts and find ourselves in that space, it's then when we find yoga, free of that attachment. Bring your hands to your heart center, soft bow the head toward your heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for being here. Inhale, gratitude. Exhale, joy. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. So much. You're welcome. It's all like in Technicolor now.
That's right.
Everything's a little brighter after meditation.
Like that little unicorn, have you ever seen it, like before you look at it and after? Unicorn is prancing.
Aww.
Have you seen
May we
it?
all feel like a
Yeah.
unicorn.